Hey, so I am just back from the store. I went to run some errands this morning. I went to the import market and I got basically some spices. They have like little spice kits to make tikka masala and stuff like that. So I got some of that because I have 10 pounds of chicken in the fridge that needs to be cooked in a couple days. And how do I cook it? I haven't really come up with a plan yet on that. So I thought, if I have the spices, I have some options there, like I can make butter chicken or whatever. So I went there and I went to the grocery store and I did my shopping. I got the candy, all that good stuff. And what I have been doing lately is separating the outreach from my personal groceries. And I don't remember the exact total on the outreach. I think it was about 40, and my personal groceries were $20. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I got it all loaded on my little buggy, and which took a minute just because the frontal lobes, planning, organizing, all that, not so good with fetal alcohol syndrome. So I figured it out, the heavy stuff on the bottom and the stuff that leaks on the bottom, just God forbid I get shampoo on something. So, but I did. So I got it all loaded up finally, and there's this nice lady selling something at the door, and so I gave her something as on my way out, just kind of like a tax. And got onto the bus, and the bus pulls up, and I give him this big bag full of stuff. It was just mainly like just fruit, and the fruit they have specials, it's super affordable fruit. It's not like I'm spending, $90. And it's easy to just throw a few things in the buggy while I'm doing my shopping already, is how I see it. I started doing this a while, I think before Ron died. But, I think it's important to just have a little treat for the driver, when they get me at the grocery store. So I give it to him. He said, "Wow, what is this?" I said, "What's for you?" He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, you work hard, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Good. Well, enjoy it." And I got off at my stop and I got the buggy off. It was pretty easy. I didn't overload it this time. I basically just got a small amount of groceries and about half a week's worth of candy. I didn't like try to get weeks worth of stuff this time. And I got my music on, I'm playing, and I had the phone in my pocket. I didn't bring my purse today, and I'm just tooting down the road, and all of a sudden this car pulls up. Very very nice, detailed black car with very some kind of expensive. It looked expensive, chrome trim. It had leather seats. I don't know what kind of car it was, and very very nice car though. And this guy, real stylish looking, a black guy looks out at me and he says, "Hey," I said, "Hey, how you doing?" He says, "Would you like a ride, honey?" I said, "Oh, I'm good, boss. I got my buggy." He's like, "Are you sure? You got a lot of groceries?" I said, "I am absolutely sure, boss. I'm good." And he just gave me the sweetest, nicest smile. And he said, "You probably don't remember this." He said, "But you gave me candy back when I used to ride the bus." I said, "Well, you're looking good now." He said, "Yeah, yeah, things are better now." I said, "I would love to give you a Bible." And he's like, "Okay." And you know me, I just went right for it. There it is. And he said, "Oh, thank you." And he took it and, and he drove off and, I may never see him again. But I pray for my recipients every day. And it was really nice to see that a guy who was on the 85, which does not go through nice neighborhoods. It basically starts in Cracktown, goes through Cracktown, ends in Cracktown. So, and there's a few moderate neighborhoods in between, but like mine. But it's just like not necessarily a great start for somebody, a young guy, especially a young black guy. And yeah, it was just so good to see he was doing well and successful and happy with his life, and that was good to see because I don't always see how the recipients turn out. I just serve, and a lot of times it's just a hit and run, literally. And I just, like, you know, give somebody something that I'm just led to give them, and then I never see them again. But my mailman did not die. It was another guy. So I left a note for my mailman. I said, and I told the truth. I believe in being honest. I believe in being transparent and showing my heart. And I said, I cried when I thought it was you. I said, I'm sorry you lost your friend, but I'm glad you're still around, and I am praying for you every day. So I'm glad I did that, and I have no regrets on that. And because it's the worst thing you can have is not something unsaid when somebody dies. That's the worst. I thank God I've never had that. Um, I really I would have liked to know my mom was saved, but when she died, but yeah, I didn't find that out for years, and I already talked about that. But yeah, so it was good to hear that this guy was doing okay and happy. So that was good. And so I'm gonna take a nap and clean and do a lot of cooking, and I might get this today. Um, if not, I can maybe do it Wednesday. Alrighty, that's it.